So, hello my friends, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Is everything okay with the video? I think it seems to look a little bit like I'm not completely in the middle. Whoa, there we go. Hi, how are you doing? How was your week? Did you have a good time? Yeah, let me know in chat, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about AI topics, like what you want to talk about, what you want to see. Hi Benji, thanks for joining. By the way, today we are using Midjourney moodboard to explore how to create consistent style and consistent worlds and figure that out a little bit. And then I'm going to look also a little bit at other tools, specifically Magnific, maybe a little bit of Kriya to play around with that, to see that. Hi Carlos, thanks for joining. Hi Sato, thanks for joining. Nice to see you. Hi Christopher, thanks for joining. Also put a like under the video if you want to. That would be very nice. Yeah, so how has your life been? How has your time been? Also, I put here a little marker so that the art crowd doesn't get upset, because today everything is inspired by the show Scavenge's Reign, which is very, very amazing. You should really watch that show. And I made a bunch of screenshots that I'm using as an inspiration for Midjourney as a style guide, just to see if that works, right? We will see how far we come with that. I can't promise anything, but that's what it is. It's exploration, right? We just try to figure out what we want to do. And then also next week, I really want to create, again, content, tutorials, stuff like that. So I need your help with that, to be honest. It would be really helpful if you can help me with that. So today we're going to select a bunch of topics. Yeah, and let's see where everything is going. Anyways, okay. You use the chat. Write something in the chat, please, if you want to. Okay. By the way, I should maybe search for the Scavenger's Reign. I should search for that so I can show you that. Do we have any? Okay, there's the IDBM page, which of course is only half useful. Is there? Oh, there's actually some pretty beautiful images here. That's cool. I can show you this. Playing around with Quen, Nano Banana 1, and Grok Video. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Couldn't test Sora 2. I actually, I have to say sorry. I wanted to do a giveaway today. Giveaway sounds like, but I think I still have invite codes for Sora. Someone gave me a Sora code on X, and I forgot to copy them, and I have to use what is it called? I have to use a VPN to use Sora 2, so I don't think I can do it during this stream, even though it's just a browser plugin. I don't want to risk it, to be honest, but we're gonna do the giveaway as soon as possible, probably in my Discord, so maybe join my Discord if you want to. Where is the best place to contact you privately? I tried to message via Discord. Can you message me right now on Discord, and then I will just like ping you back so I have that. I'm very difficult to contact because something is wrong in my brain. I'm really having anxiety about when someone messages me to answer or even look at the message is difficult for me, so I have to overcome that somehow. But yeah, it's not easy. Anyways, let me see. There's messages. I have so many messages. I could use someone, but someone with experience, not just someone who's random, to help me, for example, with the sponsorship mails and stuff like that, which is a good income, but you have to have experience on how to do that. You have to have some like actual work experience, how to talk to sponsors, how to haggle it out, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm in streamer mode right now with Mage. I can disable this, I think. What is your name on Discord? Is it also Benji? No, apparently not. What is your name on Discord? Scavengers Rain? Is it Scavengers Rain? No, it's Scavengers Rain. I think it's scavengers in the sense of plural of scavenger, not the reign of scavengers, which also makes sense, to be honest. Oh, you can't see you can't see my screen. This is the show. On Max, but yeah. Anyways, it's unbelievably beautiful. And then the same guys who made this also made another series about a mushroom. Can't remember right now what it's called, but it has this kind of like dreamy, a mix between, I would say, Mobius art style and Ghibli feel, and at the same time a little bit of Akira with the body horror and stuff like that. So it has a lot of Nightmare Dreams is your name. Okay, wait, I'm gonna switch back and search for that. Didn't you write me before? What did you write me about? Oh yeah, there's the message. Hi. Okay, there we go. Yes, yeah. Oh, with you wanted to help with the sponsorships. Yeah, okay, we can talk about that, but you need some practical experience because it's work related, so I can't just take someone random with no experience. There we go. Okay, anyways, let me switch back over. There we go. Okay. Oh wait, I have I have something for you because I'm always bad talking to people in my chat. What does Perplexity say? How do I talk to people in my chat? I have done over 100 streams easily and I have still no idea how to do that. Where are you joining from? Oh, this is something I asked in the past, but then I forgot about it. But yeah, if you want to like write down where you're from, what country you are at or city, maybe country is enough to be not too stalky about that. But it's always good to see people from around the world. So that would be nice to put in there. Share a little bit about your day experience, invite comments. Oh God, about my day. I mean, I watched the show, so I didn't do much today, to be honest. I try to read more. I try to make some more music. I was actually thinking, the downside about YouTube is you can't do multiple things on the same channel. You have to kind of stick to the topic, to be honest. Oh, NA is from Atlanta. That's cool. Hi. Thanks for joining. Because I thought, I don't know if you know the Basile. One second, Basile. I'm probably murdering the name of that thing. This modular synthesizer. And I love it. It's so beautiful. And they had a PDF that you can buy. It's called the Basile Cookbook. And how do you pronounce that? 1 second. Pronounce. How do you say that? Oh, it's a name? I thought it's an animal. Wait. Let me hear this real quick. Oh, shoot. 1 sec. Okay, she just says Basile. Basile doesn't sound very good. I don't know. But they have a cookbook with a lot of presets in there. They're very interesting. Exploring that would be nice as a video series, but I can't do that on my channel because my channel is not about music. Anyways. Okay, cool. You're from Rotterdam. Hey, Reiner. Okay, cool. That's very nice. I would love to visit Netherlands again. I have been there for a week in Amsterdam, which was very nice. That was pretty cool. So yeah, UK also. I only have been in London so far. I would love to see the rest. I would love to travel around more, to be honest. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there's like 2 people from Netherlands. Maybe you can mix. Maybe you can meet up. Synths, I to be honest, with synthesizers, I love to experiment, right? By the way, we can go back to the big view, maybe for starters, just to warm up the stream, basically. You know, by the way, this was interesting because, as you know, I'm like talking to therapists and everything, and for me, I always thought like, hey, I have a lot of interests, but I'm always just exploring. I'm never creating anything with it, right? And I always felt bad about that because I thought I should do something with it and not just like push buttons and see what they do. But basically, it's also okay, right? Because basically that's what let's say a journalist does or a teacher does, or they just talk about stuff, right? They try something, they talk about it, they share what they found, and that's okay. And I have to come to terms with that, but I think with synthesizers, it is okay if you have a lot of synthesizers and you never make any music, you just experiment. And you just like push buttons and you're like, oh, that sounds good. And then maybe you record something, but it doesn't have to be a song. You know, it's just like you fiddle around, right? Wait, let me put the chat here in the middle. And I feel like AI is also good for that. Oh my God! Really? Oh, is that a good way to lose your to pop your cherry, as they say, in the district in Amsterdam, red light district? Is that a good way? I mean, maybe it's good because they know what they do. They have a lot of like experience, but I don't know. To be honest, when I think about it, I don't know if I can remember my first time. I don't think it was good because you don't know what you do. The other side doesn't know what she does. And it's like, I don't know, alien parts touching somehow. It's not, maybe it's better if you have someone who knows what they do. Ryan says, I'm annoyed with therapists. They get pissed off. Yeah, I'm very happy with mine, but she's only so far good with like figuring out where the problems come from. But now I'm at the stage where I say, hey, I'm ready. I know where it comes from. So now I want to like get active again. And the interesting thing right now is everything for me is like a magnet where you have the wrong side of the magnet, you know, and you try to touch the surface of the other magnet, but you're getting pushed back. And that's with like most of activities right now. And this is why I couldn't make videos. I'm always sitting there and trying to make a video, and then like I can't, which is strange. But I want to do next week for sure. I have to start because otherwise everything is like the channel is kind of lost, right? It's one way, yeah, sure. When in Rome, yeah, why not? Why not, right? I mean, when both sides agree to it, I feel like why not? It's I don't know. I don't think it's inherently wrong if both sides think it's a good idea. If one side doesn't want to do it, it's not great. But that's true for everything, right? I mean, you wouldn't want someone to be forced to cook for you, but in general, the idea of someone cooking for you so you don't have to do it yourself is nice. Or any other thing, dancing, music, you know what I mean. Anyways, what were we talking about? I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. What else does... That's a strangeties of my life. What else does it say? Share a little bit of your day. Okay, I think we did that. The new username, icebreaker questions. If you could travel anywhere right now, where would you go? Is that a good question for my stream? I don't think so. Could play forever. This is not very AI related. What is a game you could play forever? Or is it like, shouldn't it be AI related? You know, you can also ask me questions, by the way. I was watching some other streamers recently, and they are like usually gaming streamers. The strange thing is I almost never watch any other AI channels. I don't know why. But sometimes I like gaming channels, but often I just watch the part where they talk a little bit with the community, and then as soon as they start gaming, I do something else. I think like the best thing for streaming was actually something like Minecraft. It has to be a game that I like, but it doesn't have a story, and it's not repetitive. And Minecraft was that. It was like everybody had their own story. You wouldn't like getting spoiled by anything. But at the same time, you see their like what they do and their own struggle and their own exploration of the world. So that was a very good mix. I think that's also why Minecraft is that kind of successful. There is a book called Family. Family. Yeah, that's a good book title. They fuck you up. Yeah, probably. I guess. Yes. Yeah. Because you don't learn it in school, right? Isn't it strange, like everything you need for life, you don't really learn in school, right? Isn't that strange? Other than sports. Okay, you learn a bit about sports, like a little bit, but mostly I would say not in a fun way. But anything else, what is a good way to eat or cook, or I don't know, philosophy is not in there, doing your taxes, raising your children, being intimate with another person. Oh no, there's sex ed. That's true. There's that. But they don't have that. I think they don't have that in Europe, so I don't even know what they tell you there. Or it's probably not about different techniques. It's probably just about you get pregnant from this and that, right? So, I don't know. Anyways, should we stick more to AI maybe? Is my camera blurry? Or is it just... I'm just seeing it blurry. Okay. How to do life outside of school. Yeah, right. You learn everything outside of school. Also, like how to make friends. How do you know if you can trust a person? Stuff like that. How do you deal with fighting with another person? Right? Emotional struggles. You don't learn any about that in school. Yeah. There are many interactive live stream channels. I saw a fellow on Twitch where people asking questions to the AI avatar, but I felt like... You mean like AI interactive channels? Because I think probably they don't want to have that, and they ban purely AI content, but there is a lot of interactive channels in the sense of like just chatting is a genre where people just talk to the camera and then they talk with their community, which that has to be nice, right? You sit there, I don't know, maybe every day, maybe a couple of days a week and you just chat with your community about everyday things. Some people cook a little bit, they clean their apartment, they talk about their holiday plans, and that's how they make money. Isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? Yeah. How about 120 on Fallout 76 on Xbox? That is amazing. Oh, on the Quest 2, really? Holy shit. So you played in VR? Wow, you must have good VR senses, because I'm not sure if I could play that for that long on VR. But maybe it's probably you get used to it over time. I don't think I've ever played any video game, maybe other than World of Warcraft back when it came out, for over 200 hours. And I'm always amazed when people say, hey, I have 1,000 hours here, I have, I don't know, 3,000 hours in that game. It's crazy. Because I'm always jumping between games. And also recently, everything feels like not very satisfying, you know? I feel like, and this is also something I have to learn, is there is this what is it called? You're overflown with all these kind of offers of gamings, of shows, of books, of all kinds of things you can do, right? And because of that, you always think you're missing out on something, so you play this, but you try to rush through the game or through the novel so you can read that other novel or watch that other show. You have to binge it for no specific reason, right? So sitting back and just relaxing and trying to figure out, why do I actually do this? Or is it actually for me? It's just something I have to learn. It's lame. They should teach at school. Yeah, I think, they should really teach how to do live in school. What is stopping someone from spinning up 100 live streams? Yeah, right. With and that's why I don't think they will allow that, to have an automated AI stream. In the past, they had streams where the community can play video games through chat commands, but these have been legit games like Pokemon, and that makes a lot of sense. But just have an AI chatbot there, and the community can like interact with it. I don't think anybody wants that, especially not the companies, because they have to pay for that. Sora and Meta is kind of trying to do something like that, not live stream, but short content, right? This is what Sora 2 right now is with the website. You can give likes, and to be honest, like you can do funny, nice content that is entertaining, and we see more and more on that on social media, where people create their skits, and instead of filming them, they just prompt them and have a funny video with stuff you often can't even do in real life. And that can be a content format. But I think when it comes to these kind of click farms, no company wants to have that, because that erodes the community and the quality of the platform itself, and that's not so good. Havo, does love, Olivio, mean you love me or just love in general? I don't know. But thank you anyways for that, the comment. There is school and teachers, and then there's a parents. School is for everything that parents can't teach their children. Yeah, but I don't think parents are that good at it either. And the reason for that is because usually if you go to therapy, one of the earliest questions is going to be, how did your parents fuck you up? What did they do wrong? And the reason for that is because for them also it's the first time, so they don't know what to do. So on the one hand, they want to protect you from all of the bad things in the world, but then on the other hand, they want to create the ideal version of themselves in you, probably, I guess. And so they have very high expectations, while at the same time not really allowing you to do stuff. So parents are not so great for education, I would say. Not ideal, I think. I kind of love the... I got used to the headset. What? Oh, the headset, yeah, with the weight. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. I have to try Character 5. I'm still looking for good VR games. I think like the best VR games are the PC games that have VR access, like No Man's Sky and what is it called? Skyrim and stuff like that. And of course, Alex and stuff like that, right? There's a fire hose of content for all ages. Angles. Oh, angles. Hard to find the signal, though. Through the noise, can understand. Yeah, totally, right? There's so many offers for games, and everything is hyped up. And you know what I kind of come to hate is all this kind of like social media stuff where they always tell you, oh, this is the best thing, you need that. And then a week later they say, oh, this is the worst thing, you should never do that. And like, they're just doing it for the clicks, you know. That's very annoying, especially with gear, you know, where a camera comes out, they say you need that camera. Oh, this is the only camera I will use now from now on. And then the next camera comes out 2 months later and they say, oh, this camera is so much better, and the other camera is such a shitty camera, you should never buy that. And you're like, yeah, but you fucking told me to buy that, so now I have it. I can't buy a new camera every 2 weeks because you changed your mind on that, you know. Even though, like, I bought the X5 and I'm very happy with that. I'm just still like trying to figure out how to make any kind of content with that. Actually run an AI Twitch thing. You do? Oh, really? People prompt shorts and generate images. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Where people can generate. Have you been the guy who made that script for live stream where people can prompt? And what about people prompting something that shouldn't be on stream? Oh, the cost, yeah, of video creation is very expensive, so that's kind of bad. That said, if you can figure out how to do that with Midjourney and you get the pro, not the pro subscription, the $60 or $48 subscription, you can create endless videos on relax mode. Or you have to, I don't know, if you can figure that out somehow, maybe that works. It also depends on the type of parents. Some parents are really nice, you know, and some parents are very supportive and stuff like that. High expectation puts your children beyond their limits with their, which then injures their self-esteem and can end up feeling less. I think like pushing children beyond like what they perceive as their limits is not inherently bad. But it has to fit with what the child actually wants, you know. So because it toughens you up in a certain way, because you always think your limits are lower than they actually are. So you can always reach a little bit higher, but it has to be in a positive way. It has to be in a supportive way. If it's this kind of like parents trying to really squeeze their children to become an Olympian, whatever, sports guy or whatever, or musician, that's not great. I'm not a fan of that. I'm so behind on the chat. Sorry, that's why I like plays Hugging Face. Allows me to try everything. Oh yeah, that's great. Right, with Hugging Face. I wish I would be better with the coding stuff. That's why I also wish I would have ever built a team around my channel, because I really could use a tech guy who helps me set up things and install them so I can make videos. And that would be great, because one thing I'm good at is explaining things that are complex in a simple way, where it also gives people good result at the end. And that's a skill in itself, because a lot of people who are technically good at stuff often don't know how to explain it, or drift into too much detail. And so it would be cool to have someone to help me install things and make them run, and then I can show people how to do that. And also having someone who knows how to fix problems, because then when the community asks, hey, I have this problem, I can make a video and say, oh, you can solve it like that, or I can reply to that, or something like that. I know I can use my Discord for that. I'm just like, being in a chat with a lot of people is a little bit overwhelming for me. Clair Obscure, everybody says Clair Obscure. I need to play that. I really need to try to get into that. Right now, I started with this kind of alien game where you have this little crew that you have to navigate around. Not sure if that's gonna be amazing or not. I have a moderation layer that uses Claude Haiku to check prompts before generating. I have a moderation. Oh, okay, for the live chat. Right. Novel gaming experience. Is it? But I thought it's a lot like fantasy, the early Final Fantasy, right? Story and using AI to illustrate the music videos since I don't have time to draw. And you're good at that? Like you can really create the story images that you need with AI or not? Upgraded my Midjourney account to 48 yearly. Oh, yeah. And 30 hours is a lot. Yeah, and if you go to relax mode, you can create images and videos as much as you want. There is a queue, of course, and it's a little bit slower, but it's unlimited. So you're not limited to these like 30 hours. By the way, while we're talking, let's switch over to this part. So, sorry, there is no dark mode on Google Docs. Can you suggest some topics to me that I should look into for the next week? All right, that would be nice to help me a little bit with that. Because, yeah, just to see what you like, what you would like to see, stuff like that. If you can suggest a little bit of stuff, that would be very helpful. I will look into that if I can do that or not. Where's the points? Oh, there's the points. Okay, cool. So if you have some ideas, I can add that to the list, or we can do that over time, which is also good. I will leave the list open in the background. Just if you think about any kind of topic, I'm area for videos available. What? I'm arena for videos available. What do you mean arena for videos? Like relax is available for videos. With the $48 per month, it's pretty close to easy, reliable character consistency. Generation feels like the latest wave of multimodal models are close. What are we talking about right now? We are pretty close to easy, reliable character consistency. You think so? Maybe, but not in all details. I feel like the characters look a little bit like the character, but then they deviate in a lot of important parts. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to Midjourney, and if I see something in the chat, is LM Arena. Oh, that's something. That's a topic you want to suggest. LM Arena. I can put that in here. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna put that in here. Oh, okay. That's not good. We're not gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, cool. Good. I'm going to put that in here. You can download a simple data set of 100,000 human voices and feed it into ComfyUI Whisper. Generate 2 sentence audio clips within about 6 to 7 seconds. 100,000 human voices? Like in a data set. Oh. But a data set, you mean like voice recordings, or you mean like a model? Because data set sounds like 100,000 audio files, and that seems a lot to download. You can have everything this chat says and read aloud to you in different, Yeah, you can also do that with, have you tried Gwen Edit? Nope, I could try that too. I will post this in here too. Let's see about that. Okay, let's go back here. Yeah. 15-second voice recordings, 100,000 of them. They are very, very small. Really? Okay, interesting. I will copy that full comment and I will check that out if I can find something about that. 1 second. Let me put this here. So that also sounds interesting. Okay, cool. All right. That sounds cool. So just to show you what I'm doing right now, you can still suggest topics. I'm showing you what I'm doing. So this is Midjourney, as you know, and then here on the side we have mood boards. So you can click on that. I made one that is a little bit inspired by Scorn and by Cronenberg and stuff like that. I created some guns and some outfits and stuff like that based on this. And then this is some screenshots from the show Scavenge's Reign, which is this show here. You should check that out. Watch the show. It's a very, very beautiful show. Not very long, only 1 season. I hope they make a 2nd season, but you never know. Really, really cool show. I took some screenshots there, and I want to use this as a style guide to create images. And you can, of course, also You can, of course, also suggest different ideas. You can see some images I created here. I'm trying out different settings. This is kind of what I used for the thumbnail. However, as you can see, the details are very low. I don't know why there are basically no face details in here, and overall the detail, I mean, the details in the show are low because it's kind of, it's not cell shading, but it's this kind of like flat animation style, low detail flat animation style. I don't know what it's called, but as you can see here, it looks very beautiful. However, they do have faces here. This is why I also took some character shots. They don't have faces when I created with Midjourney. The problem is now I can put it in Magnific, and Magnific adds amazing detail. Look how beautiful that gets, because Magnific has a very good understanding of content. The only problem here is the characters become legit like anime characters, and that's not so great. Of course, I put the creativity here pretty high on 5 to get more details in here. Yeah. So other than the characters, it's pretty cool. Incredible. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love the kind of body horror and stuff that's happening there. Even though personally I don't see it as body horror. Especially I see it more from the perspective of the robot, who is oh, I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, let's say it without spoiling. You can see a process in nature always as something, oh, that's horrible, because you don't like the outcome for yourself. But always a process is an outcome that is also aimed at a creature, and for the creature it's good, right? So if you have something, I don't know, like some wasp is laying their eggs into the larva of another species, and then the larva is kind of getting eaten by the children of the wasp, basically. That's body horror. You don't want to be eaten from the inside out by the larva of another species. But for the wasp species itself, it's a cool, positive thing. And so I think you can see a process like that without judgment and just see the process as it evolves, as it goes on, you know. And then it can be beautiful, even though in theory or in practice, more in practice than in theory, it's actually something horrible happening to the victim of that process, right? Yeah. And of course, I wouldn't want to be eaten from the inside. Anyways. Okay, so we're going to experiment with that. Oh, I want to show you something else that you can do here that's pretty interesting. So we have here the mood boards, and as you can see here, we have different images. So what you can do with Midjourney is, for example, here I can take this, I can drag it upwards, and here it says describe. And when I drag it on here, this will automatically create for me 4 prompts from this image here that then I can use to create new images. You can read through that, but it creates a description, so you don't have to go over to ChatGPT or whatnot. This is also built into Midjourney, right? So for example, I can click on that. So this is just the prompt, not with the style. Sorry, that's important to realize. Here we have the ratio. You can remove that if you want to get your own ratio. And then you can go back to the mood board, click on the mood board. Or do you have to click on the mood board? Yeah. And then you say here, use in prompt. And what it does with use in prompt, it says --p, and then the number of that mood board here. And you can over time also add new images to the mood board to and enhance it over time. So when I click here, it's now trying to create that scene. Right now I'm in fast mode, as you can see here, but you can also do it with relaxed mode if you have the tier for that, right? For images, the cheap tier for $24 a month is good, and you can create endless images. And then if you also want to have video, it's $48, and then you can create endless SD videos. HD is, you can create HD videos with the fast, but not with the relax. But the SD videos are also very good already, as they are. Now, as you can see here, It's not exactly the same. It's quite different from the original style, which is a little bit of a downside. One thing you can do to enhance this more, we can go up here and use this again. By the way, now it says profile and has the name here of a profile. And I think you can also like change that to --p, because I've heard that sometimes if it says profile, it doesn't work. But what you can also do now is you can go back to the mood board. You can select the image and drag it up here as a style reference or as an image prompt or omni reference, which is more for characters. But yeah, you can do that. So let's, one second. Let's create this one more time like that, and then say use again and reduce this to just a P and see what we get here. And yeah, we can just experiment with that. I think you can also write colors into the prompt, right? So let's try this again. Colorful, and write here anime style maybe. Scene in pink, violet, and blue. Okay. And it says underwater world. So it's probably better to read the prompt before you use it, because I didn't do that. These look surprisingly different. And here it says almost Netflix, which is interesting. I don't know why there's text in there. Does the prompt say anything about text? And we have a girl in here. So yeah. And by the way, use the chat to write something, suggest some scenes we want to try and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not great, which is surprising. It worked better before I started the stream. I think something is off here. 1 second. Oh, the stylization is very high. Let's limit that. We are good here. We could go here for standard maybe. And then maybe let's try, we can put this up here. Let's try to write our own prompts. Anime, movie scene of a, what is it? Forest of thick mushrooms and alien vegetation in blue, pink, and violet. All right. Oh, I think I connected. Oh no, the style is separate. There we go. Try a scene with a hollow. A hollow? What is a hollow? Eating something. I don't know what a hollow is. And why is there people in there? You can put --no and then write people, and it should be without people. And then use this again and write here daylight pastel colors. Let's write it like that. By the way, if you have any advice on how to make better use of the mood board, let me know. If you have anything where you say, oh, this would work better, you get better results on using the mood board, I would be interested. This comes rather close, I would say. But you can still see that the results are kind of like random, a little bit all over the place. It's not specifically like magically, oh, this is nice. Wow. That is actually pretty good from the similarity to the style. We have a little bit of a monster here and this guy standing in front of it, but I would say that is pretty good. A hollow is a parasite creature from the series. Yeah, but Midjourney doesn't know that. So we have to describe what it looks like. Wait, let me go in here. Scavenger's Rain. Hollow. And also, I don't think I have a screenshot of a hollow. Oh, this guy? No, I haven't. He looks like a naked panda, basically. I don't have a screenshot of that. I could include that. If we find a good image of him. By the way, I love about that show on how much actually is... This is kind of nice, but it's at the same time maybe this one. There we see it kind of well. Let's put this here. And then we can go back. This one I really like, that image here. Can I highlight that? I like this image, so we can do that. And oh, I can heart it. Okay, that's good. What else do we get here? Yeah. You see, like one of the things with AI is it's very random and you don't have this kind of like specific artfulness that you get out of doing it yourself. And then, of course, you need the skill again for that. But I mean, this is also very nice. But when you look at, like, for example, one of the things, this one I really like. It's kind of like crab-like creature. This is what I wanted to create for the thumbnail. But the way how this is specific and how this is like inspired by actual real creatures. I think this is like a sea creature, usually. And then it also has this little like trunk-like thing here that either is for laying eggs or for eating. I don't know. And you can see it's giant, so they are like riding on that. That's very beautiful. And I think we are not anywhere close on AI being able to do that in a consistent way where you can say, I want specifically that, and it's creating specifically that. You always get these kind of random results. Even though you probably could like roughly sketch that and then render over that, but then still you have variation in the detail. And that's really kind of like problematic. For example, like the spreading out of these eyes up here symmetrically on the top, and then also always in these grooves of the waves. That is a very like specific detail, very hard to create, you know? So yeah, I don't know. If you have ideas on how to do that better, let me know. You can always, like I said, you can always go up here and then you can use this, and I can now drag this in here as a style reference. But of course that means I have to have the original image. And that's kind of gonna be a bit of a problem if you're not the artistic type, right? Because if you can draw the one scene, you can create variations of that, and that is already very helpful, of course. But if you don't have that, it's gonna be difficult. And again, as you can see, even though we have the style reference, it's not creating anything similar to that, which is surprising. You can also go here and say you want to have an image prompt, and then it becomes rather close to that. I'm not having the finite control. Not having the finite control is exactly why I prefer using Config instead of these services. It allows a better control. Yeah, that's one of the problems with Midjourney is it has very little control. I think Midjourney is best for artistic exploration where you don't want to have too much control over it. But to be honest, I don't know what is going on right now and why everything is looking so different. Because when I tried it before the stream, it didn't look that different. Let's have a look here. So this is the image that we have. And you like one thing that's really interesting here is look at the structure, the texture of the things. And this is like the artistic skill is to use very little details to bring across a specific texture and quality of something out of this artistic skill and experience, right? As you can see here with this kind of area down here, it looks kind of like squishy, and it looks kind of like sticky a little bit and like gooey, you know? And I think this comes out of a combination of at the same time, it is a mushroom, so we know mushrooms are kind of wet because this is where they want to grow, but at the same time, it has this kind of like skin color, so it feels a little bit soft and like strange to the touch. So, you know, it has, through these different elements of color and the form and the way this is drawn, also looks a little bit like an old man's balls, basically. You know, bringing all that together is the artistic choice that creates a language where you can kind of understand how it would feel to be there. And that's kind of hard to do, you know, but that's also the interesting part about that exploration. Can you create something with that? And even if you can only create the idea of that as a starting point, as a sketch, that might already be enough. You don't have to create the final result. But world creation, a lot of world creation is to figure out how should the world look, right? So there's a lot of interesting ideas in there. By the way, one thing I'm very confused with Midjourney is I feel like if you use the mood board, the images have a lesser quality, less detailed than the normal images. And probably the reason for that is, on the one hand, I think they don't have it tuned right for using the mood board in a control net sense. And then on the other hand, I feel like the model is kind of confused what to do with the image it gets from the mood board. By the way, talk to me more in the chat if you like, because I know I talk a lot. So chime in there with your perspectives and such. It would be nice if I could. I can drag this into the mood board too, to add this to the generation, and it would be interesting to see if that helps or not. Because of course this looks way more like a classic mushroom. I want to try something else with you, and that is using an image that we find online. Let's see, for example, microscopic creature. I want to play with this idea. I don't mean him, but we could try him. Maybe we start with him because he's kind of like a favorite of everybody, the little bear. So let's use that. And today we are just, yeah, it's just used for inspiration. This is what the artistic exploration is about. Okay, so we're going to go back to the, oh, wait a second. I can just use it from here. We're going to use that. We're going to use this as an input. I have to upload that here. Oh, the image type failed. Okay, interesting. Let me open this up as an individual image here, and I'm going to take a screenshot so we have the right format. 1 second. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to upload this from here, screenshots there. There we go. Okay. I'm going to use this as an omni reference. It always goes to video. I hate that. I'm going to use this as an omni reference. And then we're going to figure out what this thing, a tardigrade. Yes, that's what it's called. 1 second. Tardigrade, tardigrade. Anime image of a giant tardigrade in a tundra-like landscape with mountains in the background. Soft pastel colors. Anime serious screenshot. We're gonna do it like that. Okay, let's see what we get from this. Boom shakalaka. Let's see if we get anything from that. The tardigrade will be very fitting in a Scavenge. Yeah, I think so too. I was kind of surprised there wasn't anything like that in there, but I thought they probably wanted to go for the lesser known creatures we have on the planet. Often like microscopic, and a lot of them are like inspired by insects and stuff like that. Oh, look at that. So that's something you can do, where you can input a creature and then get that likeness. The Omni reference is actually not too bad with Midjourney. Maybe we should try that with this. Let me use this here again and use this as Omni reference and see what we get from that. And then we can see. Let's see. I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. I feel like the colors are a little bit too cold. This is maybe also one of the problems, is that the color palette is not the show color palette. There's the next thing. Can we fix that? Let's go here to use. And then let's go to moodboard here. And let's pick up this image here and do it as a style reference maybe, and see what we get from that. And the moodboard is of course still referenced in there. Any Spore first stage cell evolution games learning heavily on AI yet? Interesting. Yeah, the Spore-like game, right? I mean, I don't think there is like many AI games, but that's also something I thought about. Like, this is what I wonder, why isn't there any kind of like these kind of like NFT games where you use AI to generate basically ancestral variations of two different characters together and see what they get, and then you get an NFT out of that. And because AI is so specific about the single image, you might end up with an image that only you have and nobody else gets that style ever, you know? So that's very interesting, I feel like. So I guess yeah, I guess now the colors, are the colors more similar or not? So this is the original, the thing we had without the style reference. And this is what we have now, and I feel like the colors are a little bit more nudged into the way of the show, right? It's pretty cool. There's again the detail missing. That's kind of shitty. Yeah. But we can try something else. First of all, we can use variations here. We can see if that helps. And then we can use all of this. And we can close this and that. And then let me also remove the style here. And I'm going to use this as an image prompt. And see if we get a variation of that with higher detail. That might be maybe a workaround or something. So these are the variations. You can see it says variation here. And then, by the way, something we didn't do yet is that we put all of this into Magnific. Magnific is expensive, but it's also very good. I think it's still one of the most creative upscalers out there. So let's use that and go in here, and I'm gonna upload the image here. Nope, that's not the one. That's the one. And then we're gonna replace the prompt. And we're gonna leave it like that. Boom. And then let's see what we get from this. And in the meantime, let's check out what we got here. So these are the variations. Do you feel like they have more detail? Reminds me of the game Spore from 2008. Anyone remember that? Yeah, Spore was pretty... I have never finished it. I only played like the first little bit. But it's pretty cool. I really like the idea of Spore. I think Spore is one of the games I would watch as a stream or as a let's play, but never play myself. Because sometimes... to be honest, there's quite a few games these days where I feel like it's a great game. I like the idea, but I don't want to have the hassle with the complexity and learning the mechanics and everything. So I rather watch a live stream or a let's play for a couple of like episodes, and probably not all of that. Just because I want to enjoy the game, but not playing it at the same time, you know? Because you kind of like get a similar experience because you still experience the game story and what happens in the game, but without putting in the effort. And also without any commitment, right? So sometimes sometimes it kind of works. These look completely not like the tardigrade, which is very strange again. I feel like it has more detail, but less tardigradeness. Midjourney is a puzzle. Midjourney is strange. Okay, let's use this as style reference. And by the way, one thing I want to put here is explorer in a gray robe leading on a leash. Okay, I want to see what that does, if that does anything. It's similar to the show. I feel like it's also generating and bending it with the Miyazaki style. Yeah, Miyazaki style, right? The Ghibli style and stuff. Yeah, it's always like sipping in through the cracks. I think there's no room. Interact, maybe allowing them to randomly spawn a spore that they can see in real time in video stream. Even silly. What do you mean? I think there's room to allow users to still interact, maybe allowing them to randomly spawn a spore that they can see in real time in the video stream. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of video games where this actually is interesting, even though it's a completely different style now. I love that we see more and more video games where you have the ability to, as a player, interact in some way. Sometimes it is just the names, your usernames, which I also like. Like, for example, there's all these games like Supermarket Simulator and, I don't know, a House Flipper House Flipper Simulator is a bad example. This kind of like, what is it, like pool simulator. You know this one, like, what is it called, a water world simulator, stuff like that, where you have like hundreds of NPCs running around, and then they have the names of the people who watch you, and that's pretty cool. And also that you can use them, you can employ them as NPCs doing something for you. Like they restock in the supermarket, they restock the shelves, they work as a cashier, they work as a security guard and stuff like that. And that's pretty cool, actually. This is going away again from the tardigrade. I'm very surprised that Midjourney doesn't really know what a tardigrade is. And this guy is also way too big. So we have to redo that and then put here the reference image again of a tiny explorer, we say this time. Again, if you have any ideas on how to improve this, let me know how to make the process more smooth. This, again, like sometimes you get something that's pretty cool. I think like at some point in history, we're going to figure out how to actually talk to AI to get the results. By the way, look at this. This is the magic of Magnific, and I hope it's going to be good. So this is the original image, and here is the improved image. Already the mountains look really cool. Tardigrade, be good. Ooh, oh, it has a teddy bear face. Okay, that's not so great. Yeah, but look at the nice details of the landscape in the background. That's fantastic. Wow. Look at, I mean, it has a little bit too much details in the background, so actually you have to Why can't I zoom? Oh, there I can zoom. You have to put in to have a bokeh in the background, so it makes it blurry. But as you can see, like beautiful, beautiful details in the background, and the clouds have massively improved. Very nice. I don't know why Midjourney can't manage that kind of precision. And look down here. Oh, nice landscape. This is also something like Magnific is really good at figuring out what it is, what you look at, and then creating that. And it's really nice that instead of these like obscure stone plates here, whatever that is, it creates little like lakes or rivers and stuff, which makes the tardigrade look that much bigger. Now, the only thing I don't like here is that it created a little bit of a teddy bear face here, even with like fur. Yeah. But to be honest, I put creativity on 5 to get more details, and that's the reason why it came up with a face in here. So if we set this lower, let's set it to 3. Let's make another upscale. It probably not gonna do that. But yeah, as you can see, you can get some really, really cool details. And this is what I did before. Look at that. Also, this is too creative. 1 second. I think that's the one. No, this is also too creative. I think that's the one I used for the yeah. Look at the crab here from the crab face. So here, kind of gooey, kind of melty, kind of low detail, and then boom. Isn't that fantastic? How it came up with these details? You see, like here's nothing. It's just like random stuff that Midjourney created, and then boom, it understood. Okay, this is a crab. There's a fold of the exoskeleton here over the eye, and the eye has a pupil. I don't know if they have pupils, but never mind. And then the mouth here, you see, it's a little bit like very low detail. And here, boom, it created an actual mouth that is symmetrical and fitting. And also with the legs, look at that. How everything like down here, this mess of just lines and stuff that is happening here, they are like legs that connect into the body. Also here, even though this goes to the backside. So this is actually wrong, but never mind. And here you have like a nice underside stretching out from the mouth backwards. While here it's just like squiggly lines, you know? So lots more detail. What I don't like is that with this, I mean, it does make sense, but this eye, it was on a little like pedestal, and now it is like attached to the body, but this eye is also attached to the body, so it wouldn't make sense to have one on the pedestal and the other one not. Sorry. Did you make the Marble AI waiting lists? Nope, I did not. I will write that down. Thank you very much for telling me. I hope I can. Mark down. Nope. There we go. Okay, I will check that out. Let's go back here for a second. There we go. He's still too big. I don't know what is going on, why it's not small. But I like that he has a leash around him. So that's already good. And yeah, this is not anything. This is kind of nice. There, it's kind of like the right size. I would like him to be even smaller than that. This guy should be that high. So that is a really giant tardigrade with a small guy in front. But yeah, that's not happening right now. So I think you still need some sketching skills, or at least editing skills afterwards. We could go over in another software, make this smaller, and then try to re-render that. And that might help. Okay. Let me see here for other creatures that we can find that are interesting. Ooh, this one is kind of cool. I'm not sure if AI can do anything with it because it's very abstract. Do we have anything that's not this one? Wow. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. What else do we have? Oh. Oh no, this is AI. Okay. Never mind. Man, why is everything here tardigrades? Strange insect. Let's look at that real quick. Ooh. That's beautiful. Okay. Let me download this real quick. Okay. So, let's have some experimentation with this. Where did I use the style? There I used the style. All right. We're going to delete that. We're going to upload a new image. Put this here. Let's write here bokeh in the background. Anime. Screenshot of a alien butterfly insect. Sitting on a branch. Alien forest in the background. All right, let's have a look on how this turns out. A virus cell. Yeah, but a virus cell, don't they always look like the same? Virus cell, they always look like this, right? They always are these little fur balls. They're not like super creative. Like this one, that's pretty cool here. We would have to like extract that. But I don't know if AI can actually like understand what is going on because it's very abstract, right? So that might be a little bit problematic to create anything out of that. While with these insect shapes, I guess we can get something nicer out of that. Look at that beauty here, for example. It's very nice. Oh, look at this one. Wow. And we have such crazy life forms on our planet already. Isn't that like, look at this guy here. Oh, that might be AI. Brazilian Gorbatkov. Ugh. Ugh. We might also need to describe them a little bit. Look at this guy here. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, let's download this also. And see if we can create something here for the world. Oh, look at that. Nice. Okay, I like it. Interesting. Now that's very interesting. Okay. Whoa, not too bad, huh? Whoa. All right. That's nice. I want to have some variations of this one and then also of this one. Let's see where we can get with that. Devil's finger fungus. What is that? Let me open up a new one here. Devil's finger fungus. Ooh. Okay, I'm not sure if we can do much with that, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah, maybe. It looks like an octopus, kind of. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Let's give this a shot. That looks very interesting. Okay, cool. Good. By the way, how are we on the likes for the live stream? Let me see real quick. How many do we have? Leave a like if you can. Oh, it's making music. I can't even see it right now. Man, these stupid advertisements always. Can you see the number of likes? I can't even. Where do I see that? mean, for someone who has done so many... Oh, we have 43. Okay, we still have a way to go. So please, if you can, that would be very nice. All right. 1 second. Let me go back here and check this out. Ooh, look at this beauty here. Very nice. Uh-huh. All right. I wanna copy this and then download that. And then pop this in here and see what we get from that. Upscale. And we also wanted to look at the other one here. Ah, okay, this is way better. So now you can see that I've lowered here the creativity. The face is not a teddy bear. The face looks more tardigrade, but at the same time, we still have kind of like nice details in the background. One thing I wish that Magnific would have is kind of like masking. So I can say, I want to have less creativity here, but I want to have more creativity here in the background. But as you can see, very, very beautiful. Very, very nice. But now, as you can also see here in the foreground, these patches are now just like earth patches. While here they have been these kind of water patches, which I actually like more because they give you a better sense of size for this creature here, right? And I think when you look at this creature here, it still looks big, but it doesn't look quite as big because water is, we identify especially blue water with a larger like body of water, while an earth patch is usually smaller if we see it like that, right? So this guy looks not quite as high as this guy. So this guy, I would say 3-4 meters high, maybe 5, right? For that guy, because of the earth patches here. And this guy, he looks gigantic. He looks like 4 stories high or something. Really big guy. Because of the water here in the foreground. Right? But yeah, that's just me. There we go. Ooh, okay. Not quite as detailed as last time. I thought it would do maybe more with this like part here, but yeah. With the lowered creativity. We can also like, let's go here and make this at 6 for the creativity to see if it will add some crazy detail in here. But as you can see, again, it created some very nice additions to that. Also, the background is more detailed. Although in this case, maybe I don't necessarily need the more detail here in the background. But yeah, it's nice. It's good. Okay, cool. Let me go back here. Should we upscale? This one is also nice with the horn here. Beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, the face looks more like a tardigrade, right? Okay. Let me reuse this. And then we pop in here the image of the devil fungus. We pop this here. We remove it from there. So, anime screenshot of an alien. Alien fungus that looks like octopus arms that are wet and let's say gooey. Is this how you write gooey? No, right? Gooey. Okay, there we go. Gooey liquid. All right, 1 second. Where do we go? Here. Nope. Didn't take it. Okay, I'm gonna just put an E here. Alien forest. Alien flowers in the background, maybe? Not quite sure. Okay, Let's have a look here. Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it added some interesting details, but not in a good way. So now you can see here parts of the face have become a butterfly wing, so it's getting kind of like confused if it gets too creative. It's usually not a good idea. And this also, I mean, I like this where the flowers, I have also these kind of like butterfly wings. I like that kind of thing here, and it added some more structure here to the wings. That's also something I like. But then this part here where it has a butterfly wing over the eye, not so good. But this part here is kind of nice, also with the different color changes. Kind of interesting. But let's go lower here. Let's go with 4. Okay. Ooh, oh, holy moly. Okay, we need to like octopus arms sticking out of the ground. Let's try this again. But I mean, not bad, right? Not bad. How do you feel like that looks? There we go. Yeah, oh, that's good. Like NA, sorry, you wrote that message a while back. But yeah, time is an issue, you know? For me also, like sometimes like there is games that easily use up like 100 or 150 hours, but all I want to spend is like 2-3 hours watching some episodes on YouTube or a live stream, and then I don't need the full game. A lot of it is just like doing the same thing over and over with slightly different bosses. So the only thing I want is like experience the story and the world a little bit and then go on. I kind of like, to be honest, I kind of want to go back to games that take maybe 6 to 8 hours to finish, have a really beautiful story, you experience a world, and then out of these 6 to 8 hours, because I'm looking at every little detail and every little nook and cranny, personally I take like 18 hours or 20 hours, but because I explore and really look at the details and really read all the text and really want to see it, and not because I'm rushing through something that is filled with nothing at the end, especially with stuff that doesn't matter to the game itself, you know? Have you played Soma? Because I can't remember the name, I would say no. I have played Scorn, and Scorn was fantastic. You have to play Scorn if you have not played it yet. No, I don't. I probably have it though. I think if I go to my Steam account, I might have it. Or I got it free on Epic or something like that, but I've never played that. It looks pretty cool though. But Scorn, if you have never played Scorn, really, really nice. Based on the aesthetic of Alien. Ah, so nice. Look at that. Again, this kind of like body horror. Okay, I don't see anything that gives a good impression right now of what it looks like. Yeah, this kind of like... Oh, this is Unreal Engine, actually. It's not the game. But that's more from the game. Yeah, with this kind of weapon here, that's a little bit like Cronenbergish as a weapon. This kind of thing. It's just a very beautiful game. And personally, I found it's not that scary. There is not like... I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just, for me, it wasn't as scary, and I don't like scary games. So if you don't like scary games, I think you can still play it and just like thrive on the aesthetics. This looks beautiful here. Wow, very nice. Ooh, also good. Okay. You can kind of like hear the squishiness and how these like big drops run down. But like you said, a lot of it is like Ghibli kind of like aesthetic, right? Ooh, I like that one. Tentacles with a flower on the end. That is a great idea. I like that. Like again to look at the art and to immerse myself into the environment. Yeah, totally, right? It's better to have like a smaller closed world where you have a lot of time. Like on the one hand, having a lot of time to explore the landscape. And then on the other hand, what I like is to be immersed in the game where you feel like you are really there and it matters. Because what the rushing through the game does, and this kind of like hunting for achievements or unlocks and stuff like that, is that you don't really feel connected to anything. You just want to have the reward and then probably never use it. Like unlocking a new skin and then never using it or something like that, just to have it, you know? Very nice. Very beautiful. Okay. I wanna slightly change that prompt. Red tentacles sticking out of the ground. Is this how you write tentacles? Yes. Sticking out of the ground with flower growth at the end. Let's try that. And by the way, I want to try one more thing here. It might be filtered out, but let's see. Body horror genre anime. There we go. By the way, I can show you real quick what I created for the Cronenberg kind of stuff based on Scorn. And you might not like that, and that's why I didn't base the stream on that, because I thought it's probably gonna be scary for some people. It's not that nice, unless you like this kind of aesthetic here. And also the guns are really nice. Look at these rooms here. Very nice. I love this kind of aesthetic, but yeah, you have to be the type for it, especially with all these holes. I'm not a fan of all these holes, to be honest. But where's the gun? Let me see the gun. Oh, look at that. This almost worked, and then it didn't at the end. I think maybe I can switch it here and then play it backwards, and it gets me the full gun. Because as you can see, when it turns around, it creates like 2 gun grips. But yeah. You have to like stuff like that. Otherwise, it's just madness. But yeah, if you like designs like that, it can be pretty cool. But I didn't want to make a full stream out of that, because a lot of people, I think it's too messy for them to see stuff like that. But yeah, it's cool. It has its aesthetic. Ooh. All right. This went very differently. So it just doing tentacles, it can't really do. But this one is also nice. Very interesting. This one is really taking from the photo that we used. Crazy. Yeah, but it's just like AI just doesn't know what to do with that. That's kind of a problem here. Okay. Let me next explore this kind of, let's use this again. Let me explore this beetle creature here, because that was very nice. I want to use it here. By the way, you can also, you have a slider here where you can turn it up and down. So we're gonna explore that too. By the way, the body horror, did the body horror make anything different? It didn't block anything. This also, by the way, is very cool. The Giger, yeah, HR Giger stuff. And it's not just Giger, there's also this other artist. Wait. Artist is Scorn inspired by Giger, and yeah, this guy here. I can't even say the name. Zdzislaw Beksinski. It's probably pronounced very differently, but this guy, and like his art is fantastic. he has some really cool stuff, but very messed up. Like, for example, this like flute player here with like 1,000 fingers. This looks so much like AI. It's really crazy. Look at that. This looks like early AI, completely messed up hands. But if you see it from an artistic perspective of someone playing that kind of flute and the motion of the fingers, but the motion is basically then morphed into the stationary hands of that creature. It's really beautiful, because it has, you have to imagine this as a when a creative process becomes a biomechanical machine that inherits the process as its form. You know what I mean? So the motion becomes a fixed form that is growing into the shape of the body, right? That's interesting. I really like that, you know. And we see that also with our bodies changing over time, even in your lifetime. Like, for example, you can see like, wait, when you have on my arms, I don't know. You see, I have this a little bit like a bulge here on my arm. You see, this is always red. It's because I'm using the computer so much. And this is where my arm is laying all the time. So this has over time strengthened to have this little thing here where my arm is resting on. That's basically what that is. It's really interesting. I love that. It looks horrible, but it has it's kind of like a kind of like body poetry in a certain way, you know. So, and he has pretty cool works. He has very interesting work. So this and Giger is very like inspirational for the Scorn stuff, the Scorn video game, which also has a very good book, by the way. Okay, but we wanted to do this. How are we gonna do that? Body horror genre anime of an alien. Wait, flowers in the background. We're gonna move that of a alien giant bug creature with a flat head, head, okay, standing in a, oh god, apocalyptic city street. There we go. Let's see how what we get from that. And while we do that, I want to try something else. Let me go to Korea real quick and see what Korea will do for us with this. We're gonna use Flux here, and I'm gonna use the image upload for this guy here. And then we're setting this a little bit lower, and we go in 16:9. The biggest benefit of Flux is that it's incredibly fast. The downside, as you can see, is it's not very imaginative because it's Flux. Apocalyptic, broken city street with broken buildings. Okay. So Korea, I mean, Korea can give you tons of detail, and of course, in this case, we didn't use the anime style. I can actually use a second image as a prompt. So let's use this image as a prompt here, and let's see what we get from this. And then it does say anime screenshot, so I'm kind of surprised it didn't do that. Okay, now we have way too much of this. Let's make this like less. Ooh. Well, I mean, it's interesting. It has absolutely nothing to do with the original style. But, ooh, okay. Whatever that is. Okay. No. Ooh. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's all over the place. And I think Kriya, Kriya 1 can also use that. Okay, let's have a look here. Ooh, it didn't use any of that. And there is a guy in the image again. Interesting. Oh, no, we do have the mood board still in here. I'm confused. Because this is just a style reference. No people. Let's try this again. Should try HR Giga, but he designs clothing. What? We're talking about right now. Soma? Scary, but his story sticks with you. Ooh, okay. I have to check it out. I probably also have it. What is going on right now? What the hell? This looks nothing like our input image. Okay. Oh, it didn't use the input image. Haha. Okay. What happened? Okay. No people. Good. And I'm gonna push this a little bit higher here. Go like this, 200. Let's see what we get from that. And then once we have that, I mean, that's the thing. Like, as you can see, if you don't use these kind of like images and styles and everything, suddenly you get way better details in here. But then it doesn't stick to the thing you want to have. And, like that's the one of the downsides with the mood board is just like it sucks out the details. Why does this guy have like, why does it look like a ant if I don't want to have that? Especially if I said like I want to have a flat top here. Let me try something. Let me use this. Street with broken buildings, pastel colors, no people. Okay, let's see. I wish you could just input that and get that style. And that's just not what's happening. And by the way, in case you ask, hey, you have all these styles here, why not use them? You can, but the problem with that is, first of all, it's never going to look like this thing you want to have. But also, one thing I figured is that it has a massive impact on the what it can create as details in there. So it wouldn't just create the image, but we can also experiment with that. But as you can see, we don't quite find something that looks like what we want to have as the style. And the results can get very different based on that style. On not just like the colors and the style itself, but what it creates in the image. I wish there was some tags here or stuff where you say, okay, I want to have just the anime style. We could try this one here. Try style. Submitted, okay. This is the style. Okay, 1 second. Let me use... Maybe let's try this again. Use this. And then I'm gonna use this as the style reference, and we're gonna see what we get. Okay. And once this is done, I'm gonna upload this to Kriya and see if we can combine that with the alien creature. So now it's finished. Let's download that and put this over here. Holy crap, this looks completely different. Let's remove that. And the problem might be that there was just a person in there. And then here at the start, write anime style. Anime. So it kind of like picks up on that a little bit more. Let's see what we get now. And also try the same with flux. Go back here, see what we got here. Ooh. That is actually very good. Okay, I stand corrected. I mean, as you can see, the result now is very different. It's very beautiful, but it's very different. Wow. It's also detailed. Uh-huh. Okay. I might be convinced by this. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna try that again. 1 second. Let's use this one here. That would be strange if now we have found like a thing that actually works. Let me go down here to that thing here. That one. Use. And then go up. And use the style. And boom. Let's see. And then also let's see what's happening here. It's all over the place. Let's make this a little bit stronger and this maybe a little bit weaker. Try this again. And this is the Korea style here. I mean, Korea 1 is pretty cool, but it's yeah, very different. It's very cool though. You can see also what kind of like huge influence the AI that you use has on that. Let's push this very high here and make this a little bit lower and see what we get from that with Korea 1. So this is with the other settings here, which not great. Flux is always boring, to be honest. Korea 1, interesting details, but not really what we asked for. And very kind of like a little bit messy also. And not creative, as you can see, no artistic guidance. That's one of the beefs I have with this kind of like flux-based stuff. Holy shit. We found something that actually works. Is that way better, or am I crazy right now? I mean, the creatures look actually very beautiful and also different. Creatively different. Pretty blurry for some reason. Look at that. How good is this? The one leg here is on the wrong side, but never mind. And tardigrade, yeah. But not too bad. I think there is the limit of the model. Oh, this is nice. But it's missing details though. But otherwise it's pretty nice. We could probably amp this up with some what is it called? Magnific. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I will put all of that in there. Ghibli, Dragon Ball, maybe not so much. Ghost in a Shell, I can see that. We gonna put that in here. 1 second. Use. I'm gonna put this here. Style off, and then boom shakalaka. And we're gonna use Ghibli, yes. Dragon Ball, no. One Piece, also no. Akira, yes. Paprika, absolutely. Ghost in a Shell, yes. Nothing else comes to mind. Okay, we're gonna hit that. What is OW200? Oh, Omni reference. Oh yeah, the Omni reference is pretty high on that. Maybe we want to lower that a little bit back to 100 and then shoot this again. And while we're at it, we're going to use this. I'm going to remove the style reference here, and we're going to switch over to our Explore tab, and we're going to look for some other ones. I should have done that way earlier, but it's never too late to learn. This is going to be blue and red. let's just do it. Let's just go wild here and see what we can get out of that. We need some more reduced AI styles. Give me something. Magic portal of AI. This one maybe? Yeah. We need these flat styles. I mean, this, let's give it a shot. Who knows? That seems way too detailed, but let's see. Ooh. This is too flat. Yeah, let's try it anyways. You know what Midjourney could do? An sref finder, where you upload an image and it says, oh, it looks close to this kind of sref. Try that. That might be it. Or give you like a selection of style references. This is gray and red, but maybe. Let's see. I mean, we could also try a realistic style. Maybe that would give some really interesting result. This is kind of like fish eye here, but this again has too many lines, but we're gonna try it. Where is one that's realistic that we could use? Maybe this one? It's too bright, but let's try it. Oh, this one. Okay, cool. Okay, enough. Let's see what we got from this. Yeah, oh, this is a different number here. Okay, cool. Let's go from here upwards. No detail in the face at all. That's kind of cool, but Ooh. Okay, the blue and red one is nice. And that's kind of the thing now. Okay, that works. But then if you want to have something else, it doesn't work again. And then if you want to have a different color palette, it doesn't work because the style reference is only for the red and blue kind of stuff. So, yeah. No details in there. This is kind of cool. But now we have this kind of teal and violet. No details. No details. Meh. Other than the pink sky, it's not too bad. Meh. I feel like almost all of these images kind of like need this kind of magnific run over it to give it the details you want. You can search styles with a string. We try that in a second. One moment. Let me go through these. Maybe go a little bit faster here. There we have a girl. This girl has a good size compared to the tardigrade. No details, no details. Looks very strange. No details, no details. I feel like the first style kind of like worked better than the rest, right? Yeah, the other like tests here are kind of not no win. Doesn't look good, doesn't look good. Kind of. Ooh, I like that one. That one is nice. The style. The colors are a little bit too flat, but the style is nice. Oh, that's it. Okay. And it didn't turn into realistic, which might be because we have this like style reference here, so that might have a big impact on that. By the way, and now the question is, oh yeah, we can do that. Let's remove the style reference. And let me go back here. And then let me put the style here, the sref in here, but not the image of the style reference. And we're gonna try. It vanished. Okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try those without the reference image, because maybe that gives us a better, a closer connection. I'm looking forward to what we get now. Let's try this one also here. I could, of course, go back to the Explore tab, but yeah, I don't have the styles anymore. And where? Oh, here? You mean this? Oh, holy shit. I had no idea that works. Wow, you're a lifesaver. I have no idea that that works. That is crazy. That is a great thing to know. Holy moly. I had no idea that this was gonna work. Okay, so let's put some of these here. Maybe that one. This one. That one. Okay. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, there you see. You see, like there it has a style here as a style reference, and there it doesn't have it. It still has the mood board, by the way, in the background. So it's not completely without that. It has way more details, though. It's very nice. Look at that. Wow. Very cool. Interesting, huh? Oh, wow. I like the Dutch angle and the guy standing in front. Interesting. Huh. Okay. The girl almost has a face here also. Wow. Okay, these are not so good. This one is kind of nice. Ooh, with the sign here and the small person here. That's kind of cool. Interesting. You know, the one thing that you can see here with all of these images, or most of them, is how beautiful the composition is in all of them. Like each of them could be almost like a screenshot from an actual like show or something, right? You can feel like you can imagine the action that's happening next, right? There's some connectedness and some motion in the way this is done, which is very different from how Flux is doing stuff. Flux is always like things are there, but for no like specific reason, unless you really massage Flux into like doing what you want to have. And Korea is a nice model for the aesthetic, but again, you see like this thing here is just standing there, and like where is it going? There's nothing like specifically happening where it's like going into or coming from or stuff like that, which if you compare to this, there is something else here, you know? You feel like there is some movement happening, some direction happening, right? You see? There's a little bit also like, if you have these two connectors, there's a little bit of like connection between them, the way this guy's leaning towards the woman and stuff like that. There's something happening, right? Always nice. Wow, this is also very nice. It's just missing the details. But you know what? Let's pop this one into Magnific. I want to see what's happening there. Let's use the promptus. Let's see. I'm gonna include the style references too. Who knows what happens? Let's see if we get some magical stuff out of that. In the meantime, we can explore a little bit more. But as you see, as you see, it's not as easy as just writing a prompt and then magically you get a new scene from the show with all of the creativity and aliveness and connectedness of the environment. We still have a long way to go with AI to actually create something that is worthwhile. Of course, there's always the alternative that you invest a lot of time and probably base it on ComfUI with a lot of like tricks and models and layers and input images and control net and whatnot. And then probably also in painting to create that, which the question is at a certain point if a skilled artist wouldn't be able to do it faster with more direction. You know, if you have to put all these tricks in there. Yeah, I don't know. And probably, I'm sure that AI will get there, but I think it's probably easily gonna be another 10 to 15 years. Oh God. All right, I'm back. There we go. What's the stream time, by the way? Oh, we are almost up to 2 hours. That's good. Do you want to try something else? Do you want to see something else and do something else? Let's see what we got here. Ooh. 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 Isn't it like that a little bit? Right? Look at these nice details. Look at like up here with the nose of the tardigrade. Look at that. Midjourney, magnific. Midjourney, magnific. Why can't Midjourney do it like that? So nice and beautiful. Look at that. Like actual details here. It's very nice. And then you have these little eyes in here, in these folds. Like, how does Magnific even know that there has to be like... I mean, I imagine it at eyes. It looks like eyes. But how does Magnific know to put that there? And then Midjourney is like... Here is like this little... I don't know. Folded thing. You know? Isn't that strange? And then with the woman... Again, look at that. Like, I mean, okay. It put a lot more details than it actually had. But look at that. Like, how does Magnific know? Nice haircut. There's the shoes and stuff, and the look how the the coat is sitting. You know, a little bit moving in the wind. Crazy, isn't that crazy? And the neck hood, the hoodie, isn't that crazy? Isn't that amazing? Also the background here, like Magnific has this kind of like way of figuring out stuff. Look at that. How it made these kind of like the foliage. Isn't that insane? And the mountains. Look what it created here with this part here, and then boom. You have nice snow, you have stone looking out of that, some shadows and everything. Crazy, crazy. Magnific is insane with these kind of things. It's expensive, but if you can like justify it, it is really worth every penny. If you have any way to make that money back, or you have the expendable income to like just invest it on that kind of thing, Magnific is really, really cool for upscaling. Really like what it does. Sometimes like here it goes overboard where it puts like faces in the paws. But then you can like render it twice, once with more and once with less detail, and then just like in-paint it in Photoshop afterwards, right? It's pretty cool. Very, very nice. Really love that. Okay, should we do something else? Have we seen these images? I can't remember. We have seen so many tardigrades today. I'm a little bit tardy graded myself right now with all these images. Yeah, too much. Okay. Yeah, I think we have seen that one. Okay, cool. What else should we do? It's Magnific is included with free pick. Yes. Yeah. Totally. I don't know how much of the use you get from free pick, by the way. Can you make a video on this? Can you make one of them into a video? What do you mean one of them? Oh, from the tardigrades? Yes, for sure. We can do that. That's actually a good task. Let's click on this one, for example. Let's animate that one. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, cool. And then maybe this one with the girl. And maybe one of those. This one maybe. Or that one is pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's going to do anything with this. Because there's no, like, oh shit. There's no inherent, let's make this one here. Because there is some motion here. I think the arms will wiggle a little bit. That might happen. What else do we have? This one. And then maybe that one. And I think now we are out of renders. Yeah, so that can take a little bit. Right. Okay. Good. From the AI topics, feel free to suggest me more. And by the way, do you think I should still do a video about Sora too? Because what I wanted to do the last, every day of last week, what I wanted to do is a video about Sora and how Sora is kind of scamming the users, because first it could be everything and the quality was amazing, and now it's kind of like a little bit and also very censored. And I wanted to make a video about that, but then I didn't. I just couldn't. I was yeah. But should I still do a video, or is it too late for that? You know, I feel like some topics is too late, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. And should I do a video about the mood board? That has been out for quite a while. You can do some cool stuff. As you've seen, it's not what you expect. Like, you can't input this and then get specifically or like completely that out of that. I guess if you want to have that, you're probably still better off with training a Flux LoRa on that and then using it. Look at these beautiful creatures here from the show. This one, like it's like thin, very thin. Like a strip of chocolate, and then it has these arms running around. And what I absolutely love about the show, you don't see it in any of these images here, but they can always, is there any other creature here? Like, for example, this guy, I don't want to spoil too much, but I think this is a little detail out of the show. So this guy is running up and then hitting against this, and they are opening up, and there is some red thing in there. And I think she does something, she rubs something on that red thing and it opens up, and then something blue comes out of it, and she can use it or something like that. And then she can use it like a little light or something, you know? That's not what happens in the show. The show is a little bit different. But for some reason, all of the characters know how to combine all of the things on the planet to create crazy kind of things, you know? They cut open a fruit, and then in the fruit there is something they can use as, I don't know, I can't come up with stuff right now. I don't know. Or they hit against a flower or a fruit, and it opens up and it turns into a kind of like an umbrella or something like that. It's very strange. Very strange and very beautiful. But at the same time, it seems very absurd to us because we are not from that planet. But then on our planet, when you watch like several of these like nature documentaries, the stuff that happens on our planet is often very crazy, and the things we do with stuff is also very crazy. Where you always think like, how did people figure out any of that? How that works, you know? Sea dance. I will write that also. Like, write me topics you want to see videos about into the chat so I can look them up. I can't promise that I'm always gonna cover them, but you can still suggest them and I can make a video about that, right? I can't think right now of crazy things we do, but what is it? There's two interesting things. I mean, one of the things that's really interesting is, I think, like, for example, whales build up this kind of like blob in their stomach, and then sometimes they puke it out. And this blob is very expensive if you find it, because it has a very specific scent that is used in like high quality perfume or something like that. And then another thing is, oh God, what is that? I think like a certain form of lice or something, and they get dried and then like pulverized. And I think it's used for a color in lipstick or stuff like that. We do crazy things on our planet too, which don't seem like very logic, but then we do it, right? Or like just the fact that cinnamon is tree bark, but it tastes really good. Isn't that strange? All these beautiful creatures here. Look at that. And that looks like something it could be on our planet, right? Looks like a little bit like a monkey. Anyways. Oh yeah, with the animation. Sorry, I forgot about that. There we have that. Look at that, how beautiful. I can't make it bigger, sorry, because that's the resolution. But I feel like sometimes Midjourney is also very good at these animations. And in the $48 subscription, you can make endless amounts of videos. And you, by the way, you can also extend this video if you want to. Like for every video, if you go below that, there is here an extend, auto extend and manually extend button. Manually just means that you can write a prompt for the extension, and auto extend will do whatever. So I will click on that and we will get a longer version of this now. There we have the other one with the girl. They also have a HD version now, but this uses actual... Oh, I'm on the fast render time. I forgot about that. Yeah, never mind. I have 30 hours. I'm probably not going to use them because I use usually relax time. Yeah, in this case, you can see that the tardigrade is walking on 2 legs, because the image, the starting frame is often... yeah, it takes the motion from the starting frame. So you probably, if in this case, you might want to write into the prompt that the tardigrade is walking on all fours, and that the girl is walking in front of the tardigrade, because you can see here it stops and then you have a clone of the woman. And now it's walking behind it. Oh, and now it has like 6 legs. That's crazy also. Interesting. Ah, you can see here we have the, like I said, it's going to wiggle a little bit because that motion is indicated by the shape. Very interesting. If it wouldn't go backward and forward, it would be actually nice. So yeah, that's a pity that it's making this kind of like loop for some reason. Why is it even the stuff in the air is going up and down? If it would just like fall down, that would be good. But you, again, you probably can write that in the prompt and might get something like that. Why does it make that looping motion? It's very strange. Yeah. But yeah, not too bad. It looks pretty cool. There's the other one. It looks a little bit boring. Next one. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. With some camera movement and some growth. Okay. Interesting. Dancing, yeah, totally. It's carmine, and it's beetles and used for everything, including the red in the what? The red in the food? Oh, it's carmine. Oh, it's beetles. Oh, yeah. Right. That's it. Right? They get dried and like pulverized, and then it's food coloring, right? Yeah. Right. Ooh. The growing tentacles. Interesting. Right. Yeah. Oh. Okay, interesting. It created a completely new underbody and an interesting like head movement. Huh. Oh. For some reason the tree is like moving. Interesting how it imagines the body differently. Huh. Very interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, what is the time? 2 hours and 10 minutes. If you want, we can chat some more. I think we tried out as far as it goes. Let me know again if you want to see this as a video about that, maybe. I don't know, with the style reference and stuff. Or maybe some I mean, I have to experiment with it more to call it tricks for the mood board, because I feel right now I don't have too much control over the mood board. And maybe there is also some easier uses. Like I feel, for example, if you have something that is more in the area of realistic images, or some more, how can I say, some styles that are more prevalent on the internet, there's more images for them, you get probably better results with the mood board. But the mood board is not just like a easy trick where you just put the images and then boom, you get exactly that. It would be amazing if it works like that. It would, however, be interesting to make a comparison between how good the mood board works compared to training a LoRa, a style LoRa for Flux or something like that. That would be interesting. Let's see about that. Okay. Anything else in the chat we can talk about? Let me know. Shoot me some messages. Again, I'm not that great as a communicator. What else does what else does Perplexity suggest as a discussion topic? Discussing late gaming trends. Yeah, but it's not, the stream is not about gaming. Current events and popular culture. With the political landscape, I don't really want to talk about current events. Popular culture, I don't even know too much about other than that one show. We can actually, one second, I can look up the shows and stuff that I've watched recently. Maybe I can give you some more other advice. Not advice, but like just stuff that I liked. Actually, not too much to talk about. Okay. I thought I watched more stuff. Oh, there's some stuff missing here. IMDb. Let's see. 1 second. Oh God, I have to sign in. Ugh. I hate the sign-in stuff where you just don't know anymore what kind of sign-in you use to sign into that page. I have my own address. Okay. Your ratings. What did I rate recently? Have you used Canyon 3 yet? I will list that down too, because I have to say no, I didn't use that yet. Let's see. Okay. Well, all of the recent movies and shows that I've watched other than The Scavengers is kind of shit, to be honest. Blue Beetle is a popcorn movie. You don't have to watch it, but it's nice if you have nothing else. A Serious Man is an interesting story, but it's very boring. The Flash was incredibly boring. I mean, it wasn't incredibly boring. It was just a popcorn movie. The Angriest Man in Brooklyn was... I don't remember the story of that one. What was that about? Oh, where he has 90 minutes to live, and then he's still angry and running through Brooklyn trying to connect with his family. Kung Fu Panda 4 was kind of nice. And 1899 was completely not what I thought it is. It's kind of like a, at the same time, historic flick, or like serious and sci-fi series meshed together. Yeah. The YouTube shorts look way better than the show. Can you recommend any documentaries? You mean like nature documentaries or what? I recently watched an Arte documentary. What was it about? I have no idea. But it was interesting. Arte always has some of the best documentaries. If you search for any kind of documentary, check out the Arte channel. It's even free. You don't have to pay for anything, and it's very good. Very good documentaries. I can't remember, to be honest. Can't remember. I feel like some stuff is missing here. I thought I wrote everything down that I watched, but something I don't feel is here. Huh. Strange. Was it the last movie of Robin Williams? Really? Oh. Okay, in that case, that would give some deep meaning to that, even though, like, I don't think anybody knew that this is going to be his last movie. So it wasn't like, how do you say, future projecting in that way. At least I don't hope that's what it is. Did you watch Pantheon? No, I did not. Animated sci-fi Pantheon. I have to check that out. Oh, I watched Sento Chihiro again. I mean, everybody knows it, so it's not a secret. But it's a very, very good movie. So watching that again is very worth it. Let me check out Pantheon. Oh, okay. I will note that down. 2 seasons. That sounds good. Okay. On my streaming page. Okay. So let's put this here. I think really we are in a time again where using these pages is kind of like sorry but not sorry, because you kind of force my hand. You know what I thought today was, I pay for Prime, but I can't take a screenshot from Prime even though I pay for it because of the copyright. So I have to go to another page to get a screenshot from a show so I can use that screenshot to talk about it. Isn't that crazy? They kind of force your hand, so you, even if you pay for something, you can't even use it. Why is that? Why can't I make a screenshot for myself of a show that I paid for? It's, I don't know. I mean, if they really want us to go to other pages, we go to other pages. It's just a click away, you know? And the good thing is it's not even illegal. It's not 100% legal, but it's not illegal either. Especially in Europe, I think it's called, like, it's not even a copy that you're doing. So it's kind of like private consumption. And in Europe, a private copy is allowed. So you can, for example, you can make a private copy of a, oh God, what would it be? Like a music CD. You can copy it for yourself. You cannot give it to someone else. You cannot sell it. You cannot share it or upload it. But if you make a copy for yourself, that is legal. It's called a private copy. So just watching something without uploading it to someone else is actually not really that illegal. I'm not a lawyer, though, so don't believe that. I'm just saying it from the thing I think I heard and understood from that. Accept the behavior from corporations. Yeah, right. They accept too much. I mean, we do get a lot. It's not like they don't give us anything for the money. The value is always very high. The problem is, out of all of the value offered, you only need like a smidge of that. And then again, the price becomes expensive because you don't want the rest. Or what it does is it leads to bad business practices where either very good shows are canceled because a new good show is not created for the sake of giving the existing customers a good show to watch. The only reason a good new show is created is as a marketing device to onboard new viewers, so that they make a subscription for a year, but the show is only going for, I don't know, a season, so they watch it in one weekend, and then it's gone, and it's not renewed because they make another show after that to onboard other people, probably also in a different genre because they want to have more people coming in and not just satisfying the people that are already there. And that's the same thing I feel like with gaming. Also, theft means depriving the owner of the thing. I would say yes and no to that, to be honest. Because if you... what would be a good example for that? Let me think about that real quick. Okay. What is a good example of that? I mean, in the form of consumption, yes, absolutely. In the form of sharing, no. I think that's the big difference of that. Like, for example, with my content, everybody watches it for free. That's okay. That's what it's meant to be. But then if someone would upload my videos to their channel, that would be a problem for me because it takes away from my views. And then it's like destroying my business, which means I can't make any content anymore. And this is, by the way, this is why I actually don't like these kind of reaction channels on YouTube, because even though they might be, and I absolutely watch reaction videos from at least one person I really like, because he's like just very nice person. But what that means is if he has a reaction video that gets like 500,000 views because he's a nice guy, you're not going afterwards to the original channel to also watch it there because you already have seen the video, which means these 500,000 views and all the money out of the views is not going to the original creator of the content, which means at a certain point that creator is probably going to stop to make that content because it doesn't make any sense anymore, because he's not getting paid while the other guy is sucking up all the money because he's famous already, and that's not so great, you know. So yeah, that's why Microsoft does what it does. That's why you pay 4,000 for a fridge that serves you ads. There's fridges that serve ads? I don't know. Is that has to be an American thing? My fridge doesn't even have a screen or anything. It doesn't have a computer in it. It's just a fridge. It's like the real old school fridge. You turn it on, you turn it off, and that's everything it can do. But the new fridges, they have some computers in it. That's true. What about I wanted to say? Oh, yes. I think the same is true with gaming. If you have these subscription services, and I have to admit I am part of Xbox Live. The Game Pass, not the Xbox, but the PC Game Pass. I think I will not renew it though, because on the one side it gives me FOMO, but then also on the other hand, what it does is it creates a lot of it creates a lot of games that are not meant to be played, which sounds stupid, but if you think about it, if you make a game that has a huge promise and is very much hyped, they invest a lot of money in the marketing, it looks very beautiful, it has some good sounding gaming mechanics, and then you play it for 5 hours or maybe 10 hours and then you get bored of it because there's actually no world building there, no character building, no good story or anything, you leave it. But because there is so many games in the Game Pass, you still feel like you get your money's worth, even though you jump from game to game to game to game, because none of these games actually have anything in the world. It's just a huge world that looks very beautiful, and then you have fetch quests one after another for 150 hours, you know? And I think that is by design, just as with the shows, because it attracts new subscribers. So making a good game that people actually stick with makes less sense. Also, think about it. If you would have a game and you actually play it for 150 hours or 200 hours or more, why would you buy a subscription for that? Because a subscription at that point is more expensive than just buying the game outright, right? So it makes more sense to have a game where you abandon the game very quickly and jump from game to game to game, because then you feel like, oh, well, I'm just paying like $15, but each of these games individually would cost me $60. So it feels like I'm adding a lot of value to myself, while at the same time I'm actually getting robbed of good experiences because it's just FOMO inducing, right? Yeah, slop subscription basically, right? And I feel that's also what's happening. For example, if you think about Disney with the Star Wars shows, they are all fluff, and most of them are stupid and nothing you actually want to see. But they are always built up in a way and hyped in a way that they work very good for YouTube shorts, and they work very good for marketing. But then you watch the show and there's actually nothing in there. You have a character that is a famous, fan-beloved character, and he spends like 45 minutes talking about what kind of, I don't know, where he got his hat from, or kind of shit like that, you know? He's discussing with another character about a sandworm for 30 minutes or something like shit like that, right? Just to waste your time. And so you feel like, oh, well, but yeah, I have to. And this is also this is kind of buyer's remorse thing where, and I do this myself, where you keep watching the full season, and the full season has as much content as one episode should have, but as long as the first episode was good enough and the last episode has a good enough payoff, watching 8 episodes in between with basically no content still is satisfying the itch of searching for the reward, right? So even though you know you wasted your time, you hope, because you already paid for it, that something good will happen, and then at the end there is some little thing like a very cool fight, and that's like where you're like, that was nice, and then you're already like kind of like hooked for the next season, kind of, if they make a next season, right? So yeah, very, very strange. We're very in a very strange economy of that kind. Well, what's the time, by the way? Maybe I should make a just chatting live stream. I feel like the time flies way faster when I just talk about stuff. And sorry, but I'm monologuing again. But you can chime in with the chat. I'm seeing it. It's right in front of me. Let's ask Patreon again. Sorry, not Patreon. Let's ask Perplexity again. What other topics? I hold a Q&A session where viewers ask you questions about the stream, games, and yourself. I think we just did that. I'm monologuing too much, though. I know that. Share insights and commentary about what you're doing on stream and ask viewers for that opinion. I don't know. Maybe personal stories. Personal stories also, I think, like I like that from other streams when people talk about the stuff they experience in life. So, for example, last year, or was it this year? Maybe it was early this year. When was the con? There was a ConfiCon in Shanghai, and I was in Bangkok, so I was invited to that because it's not that far away. And the interesting thing was, when I arrived in China, I thought, hey, at least I have Line. Line is a Chinese app. It's like WhatsApp. I can use it there to connect the other people to see where they are, right? And what they do. And then I arrive in China, and first of all, Line is not at all Chinese app. I think it's actually a Taiwanese app or even a Korean app. But the thing is, it's blocked there. So everything is blocked. Like my banking app, my PayPal, my WhatsApp, my everything. Facebook, everything. I couldn't contact anybody. So I'm there at the airport. I didn't bring any money because I thought, hey, I can just like pay with my Pay app. I can't. Google Maps doesn't work. Every Chinese app is completely in Chinese. They don't bother translating anything to English. So I'm there. I don't know where I am. I have no money. I can't connect to anybody from the event to know where the event is, because as I am, I didn't check out any address beforehand where the event is. I just checked out where my hotel is. Now, the good thing is, what I always do is that I'm making screenshots of everything before I go there, because I always think I might not have internet or there might something else. And this time really saved me because I had a screenshot of the hotel address and a screenshot of the roughly the location where it is and the subway station and stuff like that, so I could ask other people. So that was good. And then luckily other people from the conference have been also in the same hotel than me, so I met them in the lobby next day with the breakfast, so they could tell me where to go. So that was pretty crazy. And then, by the way, another funny thing is I went there and I thought, hey, Bangkok, all year long, 30 degrees. Shanghai is Asia. It's February, but it's Asia, and Asia is always warm. And when you see videos of China, they are always standing in rice fields or sitting on the market. It's always sunshine. I think I've never seen any kind of marketing material of China where it's raining, it's cold, and people have like big parkas on and like. Have you ever seen a Chinese guy in a big parka with a woolly hat on and like steam from the breathing? I've never seen anything like that, right? So I was like, yeah, Shanghai is probably going to be warm, right? And then I get there and it's cold, of course. It's February, it's winter, and it's in the north of China, right? So it's cold, it's raining, I have no money, and I couldn't even buy something. So I stand there with my Hawaii shirt and my shorts, and that's it. Nothing else. Not even an undershirt under my Hawaii shirt. And then I thought, okay, I'm in China. It's probably easy to buy something here. But where the conference was this kind of like business district. And the funny thing now is, even though this is in China and everything is banned of the apps I can use, all the stores around me, look around me. So there is Adidas, there is Nike, there is I don't know, there is Starbucks, there is KFC, there is McDonald's, all of the Western shops, all of the brands, and all of them like flagship stores. So everything is fucking expensive. You want to buy a pants, is like a jogging pants for $200 and a jacket for $500, stuff like that. What is it called? Patagonia or stuff like that. These kind of like outdoor jacket stores, crazy expensive. So I was running around for 3 days or 2 days, I think, with my shorts in the rain, outside, freezing, because I didn't have any other clothing. And then I wore all of my shirts on top of each other, so I'm getting warm. And then luckily, the guys from the conference ordered on Alibaba some pants for me. So I could wear them. And then they also got the marketing like hoodies from Comfy, from the ComfyCon, so I could wear that. And I looked like a what is it called? Oh God, the guys who are fleeing from wars. Who are they? Like a migrant, something like that. Like I'm fleeing from a catastrophe area, because I'm like just having the worst clothing basically, and giving my talk in that clothing, standing in front of everybody like that. But it's okay. Refugee, yeah, I look like a refugee, like I just arrived on a ship or something in the cargo bay, stuff like that. Very crazy. But by the way, if you ever go to an AI meeting, the best way to figure out who are the influencers and the content creators on that event, just look for the guys with the worst clothing every time, every single time. We all look like that, you know, a little bit overweight, bad clothing, a hoodie and jogging pants, and like you just got up from your sofa chair after watching 2 seasons of Breaking Bad. That's what like content creators usually look like on these events, because we're not lifestyle content creators, right? So it's always like that, right? Always like, yeah, a little bit like hippie, a little bit like yeah. I don't know, out of a job, you know? Because, I mean, to be honest, I mean, today I'm looking specifically bad, but you only see me from here. So you don't even see my belly, so you don't know how big my belly is. You don't see my pants. I could be sitting here in my underwear, basically. Yeah. You don't need to look good, other than the lifestyle guys who are outside and stuff like that. And also, this is why I have this picture behind me, because yeah, I don't have a nice apartment that is yeah, I don't know, nice design and everything. I live like a student, which I like, to be honest. But yeah. It's not looking like that for sure. It might be looking like that when I move to Asia, because then you have a furnished apartment that you rent. It's like in America, you rent something, everything is already in there. You just move in like in a hotel, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so there you have the life story. Maybe it was interesting. We can do more life stories next time. There we go. Okay, anyways, thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. I will look through the list. Did we have any other suggestions? No, right? And I will check out the show, Pantheon. And by the way, the creators have done another show. The creators of Scavenger's Reign have created another show. Let me look real quick what that's called. I will also watch that. I've not watched that yet. It's called Common Side Effects. Check that out. Common Side Effects. It looks really cool. It has a very similar style, and I think it's the same kind of crazy story, but a little bit different. So yeah, check that out. It was very nice hanging out with you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the exploration today of the mood board on Midjourney. And yeah, see you tomorrow in the first video on my channel in a long time. Thank you very much. And let me find the end screen. There we go. Thank you. And leave a like before you go, by the way. Leave a like. Thank you very much. Bye. See you soon. Bye.